Greetings, one and all. Welcome back to another in the series of Say Yes to Fresh Backyard Garden Style. Today is a very eventful day. We'll joined by someone very special, one that lead the Ministry of Agriculture. That is the Honorable Mr. Floyd Green, or Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. You know, he'll be coming on set with us today. But before we go into anything else, I must say I want to give a big shout out and thank you to our main sponsors, of which we have Miss Anne Forey Jeffrey from Evergrow, sitting on set with us, one of our main sponsors, you know, today. And it is a great pleasure of ours to have your company on set with us. But I want to say a special thank you to Skyfall for the setting that you see here. They go all out to ensure that we are kept comfortable during the series. You know, AgriView, who have always been supportive in relation to giving and passing on the information in relation to agriculture to the wider society. They have come on board and they are working very close with us. And I want to say a big thank you also to Digicel Foundation. You know, it's a foundation that have been working with communities, farmers, and communities in general. And they did not hesitate to fall in line and become a part of the venture. And the thing about it is that I am really pleased to know that all of these agencies and companies see the need to educate and to inform and to enlighten the farmers and the backyard gardeners and the householders in relation to the different areas in agriculture. You know, we have had the series running for the last 5 weeks, and during that 5 weeks, I have to say that we speak highly of Evergrow, because our first prize that was given by Evergrow to a winner, you know, and we cannot overemphasize that Evergrow have played a major role and a major part in us achieving what we have achieved thus far. All right, we're going to have a little discussion in relation to Evergrow itself, what Evergrow is all about, the services that Evergrow offer, how can our clients be served by Evergrow, because there are several different needs that the clients may have. And the sessions that we had for the last 5 weeks, we dealt with site selection, land preparation, we deal with sowing of seed and management of these seeds. We also construct a mini irrigation system, and of which all of these things that we are talking about, I know that the clients will be able to get all of these from Evergrow.
Everything. Evergrow Garden Center happens to be your one-stop shop. Small farmers to commercial farmers, Evergrow is definitely the place to be. And I must say, when Evergrow heard of this venture, we were quick to jump on board, because one of our main attitudes to promote home gardening and home gardening skills. And so therefore this platform gave small farmers, home gardeners, and even commercial farmers an opportunity to view and to see how, in terms of land preparation, seed preparation, and then finally today the culmination of this event, where we have grown and now we are going to show our audience how to prepare what we have grown in our gardens across Jamaica. And so therefore it is a tremendous pleasure for Evergrow to be on an adventure like this.
I really like that, you know, because you see, what we look at is the whole COVID situation, right, and the children are at home. So we try to incorporate, try to create an essence where the children can be involved in a little bit of gardening. The persons who are at home, they say working from home, can also do a little gardening in their space. And from we started the program, we actually, the second week, we actually established plants in containers, right? And these plants, at least we're going to read from some of these plants today, because we have a nice little color and pot dry that we have placed in containers. And we're going to actually show that it takes not much effort, but it is also very important for you to grow what you eat and eat what you grow. You know?
Well, I must say at Evergo, we carry a wide range of containers.
Yeah.
Whenever you're looking for containers, Evergo is the place to be. We also carry seedlings, and we also carry seeds. We have been promoting the idea of de-stressing,
Yeah, man.
de-stressing using your space at home, whatever space it is. It could be your patio, it could be your windowsill, it could be small spaces that you have there. And during the pandemic, incorporating your family, your friends, it helps you to de-stress, to watch those plants flourish and grow, and then to reap, and then to cook.
Yeah, man, because when you see how your plants have color, you had about 2-3 weeks after that.
Yes, you're reaping.
Yeah, you can actually cut from the color. I mean, I say it takes not much for persons to actually grow these things. It's just how you actually manage these things. But when I draw up a reference to Evergrow, I've been to Evergrow several times. And when I go into Evergrow, by the amount of things I see in that space, down to water pump, fit into irrigation system, boy, name it.
Irrigation system happens to be at this time one of the features that we are actually promoting. When it comes to irrigation system, everything you need for your irrigation system. When I say everything, I mean everything. Yeah, the one-stop shop for irrigation.
Because you know what we actually did though? We use we show how process can convert. If you can't even buy a black tap, you can convert a 45-gallon drum to create a mini irrigation system. And of which I know for a fact, if persons need some information in relation to how to design or how to construct it, if they go to Evergrow, because I've seen where you have persons on the floor, and I mean they're very, very professional, they carry their duties, so by the time I think they kind of show the interest that people are actually looking to see, because I go in and I walk through. I was going to do a mini nursery, a small nursery, right, for vegetable plants, and I was able to get the syrup, the plastic, all that is required for me to construct that mini nursery.
Greenhouse structure.
Yeah, man.
As I said, Evergo happens to be one top shop. Everything you need for your home gardening, your farms, and your commercial farms. Everything.
And that is really, really good to know that Evergo have been playing the role that they have been playing to enhance the sector. But when we look at situations now with householders, and as you rightfully say, you have a vast variety of containers, right? But I noticed that you don't only have vegetable seedlings, but you have potted plants and stuff like that, and of which some of these plants are also natural repellent for some of these insects. So I look at me and say, boy, when you go into that space, you're really going to a space where you can actually have everything at hand. So you just walk in and you actually walk out back with your garden.
As I said, Evergo is a family based, and we also promote what we call natural repellent. And what we are encouraging is that persons incorporate those plants when you're doing your, as I say, your callaloo and your pak choy, incorporate some of those herbs in there. That will keep the pests away, because we want to encourage natural habitation. And so even the other day we looked at marigold, and marigold right now the blooms are absolutely beautiful. So when you put your marigold and you plant, as you're seeing over there, you plant your callaloo and you in your containers, and you put some marigold there, you have a beautiful
but so they have food,
beauty also, and you're getting rid of some of the pests. So that is natural way. That is what we encourage. And at Evergo we have a wide range of natural repellents. we promote our neem oils, and so persons come on down and they can see what we have. I can't say to you one stop shop
I really like how you speak to,
because I'm passionate too. I'm passionate about what I do and what I represent.
We really like that because you see, that is what I think we're lacking in most of the time. Passion for what you're actually doing, you know. And they say the person who really have that level of passion will go beyond to ensure that they have to achieve the objective that they really want to achieve. You know what? As you rightly say, we have run the series for 5 weeks. This is our last series. Now we plant and we grow. All right. Today we're going to actually eat some of what we actually grow. Yeah, right. So we're going to do some eating. But over the 5 weeks, we had discussions in relation to pest identification, and we spoke. I just the other day tweet where you say we should try to use things that are more environmentally friendly and natural, all right? That will keep off some of these pests and some of these disease, all right? So what we try to do, we try to ensure that persons are given the necessary information. So because a lot of these householders, a lot of the householders are our clients. They carry out these activities. You know, people like to plant, so the thing is that they just plant. You know, so the essence behind this is to ensure that persons actually start to carry out the right practices so then can get maximum production from whatever they're doing. You know, so we did some discussion in relation to scouting, or people can go through and look at the plants to see if there's any disease or any pests on these plants. We had discussion in relation to how to intercrop. I spoke to that before. We actually intercrop some cabbage with some scallion. But we also speak to the whole how you can maximize your land space, maximizing your land space by intercropping with 2 or 3 different crops. And we normally ask persons, for example, for cabbage. Cabbage is a 3 month crop, and pop char is a 6 weeks crop. We ask persons to intercrop cabbage with pop char. So what will actually happen is that when you actually reap the pop char, you mow the cabbage immediately. Right? So once that is done, you end up getting 2 crops from the same space. You know, so we want persons to put some of these practices in place. We also spoke in relation to some of the pests. Like, you know, we have the mango season and mango fall off of the tree, and there people allow the mangoes to remain in the soil on the land. And most of the time, some of the insects that are the worms normally goes into the soil. So we want persons to know that you don't allow the fruit to remain on the ground. You try to bag it and tie it for a while so that the insects that are there, the heat
that is all
Yeah,
we need.
really need.
Yeah, well, we need these days. You know, so we cannot really speak too much in relation to how important it is for persons to actually do some farming. We are going to the minister is on his way. We are going to we have a short recap video in relation to the series itself, what we did over the 5 weeks. We're going to have some spot prize giveaway. So persons need to listen carefully to the video. They need to also get a better understanding in relation to what we are requiring of them as householders. You know? And I'll be asking a few questions in relation to Evergrow also. So you see, the thing is that they have to ensure that they are in tune, you know, and we want to make sure at the end of the day, persons can actually say yes, you know, say yes to fresh backyard gardens. All right, so we're going to go into the video, and then we are going to come back and we're actually going to do some harvesting and the meat preparation. All right, so within that time, I think you're going to be one of the chef for the day. Yeah, man. So what we want to
2 minutes on the video.
what we want to do is to ensure that Evergrow not only plant but then cook too.
Yes, yes,
You know?
yes.
So we're going to have you on set preparing the meal. I mean, someone really we don't eat nothing about the eat like the food.
Yes.
Taste good.
You can watch the entire series.
Yeah.
RADA JM YouTube or YouTube channel. They're asking on that.
Yeah, man. So we want to ensure that at the end of the day, man, we are all comfortable. You know, we grow what we need and we eat. So persons can tune into the series on YouTube and Instagram and just see what you can gain from all of this information, and then we can proceed from there. All right, so we will be back shortly for the cook off.
Say yes to Fresh Backyard Garden style videos seek to provide a step-by-step practical and interactive guide to establishing backyard gardens. This 6-week series has been led by Mr. Mark Harvey, RADA's Agricultural Extension Officer, and is broadcast live via Zoom and YouTube. This allows for exposure and training on various topics. Week 1, July 9, 2021, we introduced the topic of sowing and seed nursery management. Week 2, site selection and land preparation was explored on July 16. Week 3 covered construction, installation, and management of a mini irrigation system. The following week, July 30, we demonstrated transplanting, intercropping, and care of seedling. On August 13, we tackled the issue of pest control and identification. Today brings the final and very rewarding topic in the series, harvesting and meal preparation. Say Yes to Fresh Backyard Garden Style videos seek to provide a step-by-step practical and interactive guide to establishing backyard gardens. This 6-week series has been led by Mr. Mark Harvey, RADA's Agricultural Extension Officer, and is broadcast live via Zoom and YouTube. This allows for exposure and training on various topics. Week 1, July 9, 2021, we introduced the topic of sowing and seed nursery management. Week 2, site selection and land preparation, was explored on July 16.
We actually planted these after the start of the series, and that's actually been agreed from already. But I'm going to read. I'm going to show you how to read, because a lot of persons actually, when they put the color, they put it in such a way. They have consistent rainfall, so they find spoils quite easy. So we are going to show persons how to actually read, and then we're going to take it to the kitchen. Right? So normally when you normally cut where you have these rows, so you have several rows taking place, so you want to ensure that they continue to grow. So where you feed the sprouts, you want to cut above it but slant. So you cut up, so when the water falls, it runs out. Right? I'm going to put one and I'm going to ask you to cut it, right? Because I said the ladies are the ones who really can tell you. Yeah, man, they that real touch, you know. So you cut. All right. So and you see, this is what I'm saying. You can plant 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. Actually, have a nice meal from the 4 colors in a small container. Yeah, well, that's it. Yes. Up. Nice. Good. One more one. So our family of say 3. 1 container of color. And you can feed a family of 3. At least give them a meal. Alright, so you see, so we read from the container, and it's you look. We have a small box in our hand, and it's we can get another one from 4 plants in 1 container. Right, but we also started some top jar. Right, we have established some top jar here. Well, some people normally read, some people read from, which one they take out the new and about to grow, while some people normally just take away the entire process. All right, so what we're going to do is that we're going to show persons, right? Actually, take your time, easy, up, shake it by the you don't really want to get rid of the soil. You want to ensure that the soil will be in the country, right? And then you put here. And so you, that's the ladies are good with the coffee, you know. Yeah, man. So you have a nice pop jar, and we have what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pop jars in this country, and we have yes, so we have one colony going home. You know, so if my mind want to learn the mix, loving pop jar and still have a colony. All right, so we're going to go over to the kitchen where Miss Parkinson, along with yourself, will be preparing the meal so that persons will know that you can actually read from your garden in very short order, very short time. All right. What we have to look at though, we want to ensure that persons not only can read, but you learn to appreciate the fact that you can grow something. And one of the greatest pleasure for anyone is to read from their garden and to give to their neighbor. And we have to be very frank with things and how life is. We have persons who are far less fortunate than others. And if you have a gardener you can read from and assist somebody who is in need, then it will be good for you to do so. All right, so that these persons can actually have a meal just the same as you. All right, I am now going to hand over this because I'm not much of a cook, but I'll be looking and learning. So I'm going to hand over now to our social service officer, Miss Shauna Parkinson. Would you please take from my little garden and prepare a meal for me? Okay, and she will be joined in short order. She will join shortly by Miss Jeffrey. All right, to prepare a meal. And what is going to happen now is that we're a bit fortunate to know that we are here, we are preparing meals, and persons can actually see what is going to be done. And as I said, our surprise guest, well, it's not really a surprise, but really having the minister joining us in short order. I don't know the thing about it. I have no cook, right? And I know that the minister is not still, but it is good to know that the minister is also, putting some emphasis and some interest in the say yes to fresh backyard gardening style, you know. And we want to know that the fact about it is that it's very important that persons really learn to appreciate the fact that we can prepare a meal, you know, because some of us are fortunate while some are not. You know, I have to say it's a bit space. I grew in that space where there was not much space, but still at the end of the day, I ended up doing the garden, and that's how I ended up agriculture. So a person can actually start their career by actually doing this at home, you know. And the things that I tell people, do not shy away or look down on whatever you're doing, no matter how small it is, you know, and try to get the children involved from early so that they can actually play their part. Well, Miss Parkinson, I always married her off, but I'm glad that I get the name right this time. All right, and Miss Jeffrey. Jeffrey's the name. Yeah, but so that means that I learned a little now. All right, it is good to see you here today, and we really appreciate the fact that you are now going to show us how to prepare a meal, you know, and using things that we actually grow, because most of these things that we can grow in our backyard. We're scaling our time and the celery. If you look behind you, you see we have thyme and we have pepper and celery, right? And basil, right? And these are grown in just containers.
right? A potting, right? These are grown in pots. But we want to know that whatever we're doing, it will have some impact on the society. And I mean, impact in our positive, you know. So I just see it as a pleasure to know that we can actually share with the public the information that we're actually offering. Well, we're now joined by the minister, um, Honorable Floyd Green. Good to see you and good to see you amongst us. And but before we go into the cooking, because I said we don't do the cooking, I can't cook. Right? But before we actually go into it, you say yes to fresh. What is your take on it?
Well, it's an excellent initiative. I think the reality is we have to focus a lot more on food security. We have to get everybody truly involved in trying to provide the freshest food for their families. And we at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries thought that one of the great ways to get that done was through a backyard gardening campaign. And I'm very happy to see how it has gone. I mean, the interest was tremendous. We had over 7,000 Jamaicans who wanted to get involved. Unfortunately, we were only able to reach 2,000. But even those who got the packages, when you see the sort of effort they put into their gardens, and I think this series has helped, then you realize how critically important it is. So for us, it's a massive project. For us, it's part of the bigger picture where we encourage Jamaicans to focus on our farmers. When you go out to shop, who are you supporting? Are you supporting a farmer abroad or are you supporting a farmer here? What we need to do is for more people to support our local farmers. So that is the whole Say Yes to Fresh campaign and the backyard garden. What we wanted to show is the joy that comes with being in agriculture. I think a lot of people have seen that. And not only the joy, some of the stresses, because you get a greater appreciation of what our farmers go through to bring the food to our table.
All right. Well, really feel good to know that you're able to join us. Um, no, the thing is that the the cooking will reap from what we actually have planted.
Yeah.
We got some capture, some color from the containers that we have planted since the initial the program. Um, but the thing is that, as we say, eat what you grow and grow what you eat. No, before you can actually eat, you have to prepare the meal.
Absolutely.
So I will now hand over to Miss Parkinson, the social service officer, along with Miss Ann Jeffrey from Evergrow. She equipped us with all the necessary inputs for the farm, while Miss Parkinson will show us how to prepare the meal. So over to you now.
Good morning, everybody. So we're going to be preparing today 2 meals, one for breakfast and one for lunch. Now, one of the things that we're going to emphasize is the use of vegetables, of course. Our main feature will be callaloo today. But before we start, we have to think about sanitation and safety. So we're going to be getting our gloves, right? Okay, for you. All right, so we're going to be looking at an egg meal this morning. And we want to incorporate things that we know our kids can eat because they are the main ones that we have to focus on and ensure that they're eating their vegetables. So today we're going to be making egg cups, or you can call them egg muffins, along with some cassava pancakes. And we're going to be using our cassava pancake from Twickenham maize and our syrup. So we have 2 different flavors of syrup here. We have the Otaiti apple and the sorrel. So those are what we're going to be focusing on today. So we're gonna get started.
And these are locally produced?
Locally produced. All right.
And where can I get them to buy?
You can get them at the Agrimart, which is located at 191 Old Hope Road. It's right beside JC. You can't miss it. You can get this item along with other locally made items there. All right, because we try to promote the cottage industry at RADA. So The main tools that we're going to be using for this is our frying pan, our muffin tin, and our cutting board.
Oh.
Alright? So you're going to be assisting me today.
What you mean you?
No, both persons are going to be assisting me today. So we're going to be using our eggs. We're going to use at least 6 eggs.
Mm.
Alright? And I'm gonna ask Miss Johnson, Miss Jeffrey, to do the breaking for me. Right? And at the same time, I'm gonna ask the minister to come over here and select a few of the seasonings that we're going to be using, which would be the scallion, the onion, pepper. So we have our home picked vegetables right here. You notice our basket. So we're going to select from our basket what it is that we're going to be using. All right. So we want 1 onion. We want a hot pepper. We want scallion, tomato, and we want carrot. Right? We also need some callaloo. Right? Because as I said, callaloo is our main feature. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to strip your carrot and your onions for me using our vegetable peeler. See?
Okay.
There you go. So just peel it right here. I'll give you a container. Alright. So we're going to chop up our onion and scallion. We're also going to dice or chop or carrot.
One of the joys about having your own backyard garden is actually this part. When you are actually able to move from garden to actually doing something for you and your family. So clearly, if you do not yet have a backyard garden, now would be a good time. We have some time at home, and I would say to everybody, spend the time preparing your garden and ensuring that your garden is in tip-top shape. How am I doing so far?
You're not too bad.
All right.
Alright.
And
So
All right.
this also gives us the opportunity to come together as a family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
it does. Because you want to have your kids learning to cook from early.
Yeah.
Right?
Healthy meals.
Healthy meals. So what we're going to do is to whisk our eggs, and we're going to use the whisk here and whisk your eggs, and then minister, you are going to go ahead and start chopping your carrot. So I'm gonna demonstrate to you. No, we're not working like that today. So I'm gonna demonstrate to you what it is that you're going to be doing with your carrot,
Okay.
right? And your tomatoes. So what we're going to do is remove the center of the tomato because we don't want the liquid to be in our egg, right? Or the seed. So you remove the middle. And we're basically going to slice it first. And then cut them up. Because we want them to be super fine. We don't want them too big because we're making muffins, as I said. And if it is that we're making muffins, you want to ensure that when you put your vegetables in, it's small sizes or small bits for when they're eating. Because then you're going to find that the vegetable is pulling out of your muffin. All right. So this is what I want you to do for your carrots as well.
So you're going to some carrots.
The same thing. Slice. I think you're trying to get away from putting the carrots in. Look very much that way. So you can continue from here. Slice them smaller and then chop them up.
Okay.
All right. And while that is happening, we're going to be adding some seasoning to our egg. So we're going to add a little bit of salt and some black pepper. Be careful with the knife because it's extremely sharp.
Yeah, like. You want tomato?
No, that's good.
And of course, for those persons who are watching their sodium content,
Want more carrot?
salt can be optional.
Yes, yes. Salt can be optional. Alright, so I'm trying to get my drawing down here. Okay, so that's not working out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a pinch of salt, right? And so when you can't find one tool, you use the next one, which is the fingers. All right. The next thing, the onions. So we have our carrots, we have our tomato. So now we do the onion. And we're going to be dicing it up just the same.
You have to go as fast as her. You hear? You can take your little time. Listen to me now. When you're at home, take your little time. And though, you know, you don't have to look so expertish.
Yeah,
Once you get it cut up small.
Practice. It comes with practice. Right? So what we're going to do is just add it to a container because we're gonna have to saute this before we add it to our egg. Alright? So we're gonna use a little bit of scallion. Yeah, because we're using all natural seasoning today, no powder seasoning. Alright? And then we add our carrots, not carrots, callaloo, because this is our main source of iron. Alright? So now we're going to saute. You wanna light the stove for me?
No, thank you. I'll get the pot ready.
Alright, good. But you're gonna saute. Good. So you can put your pot on. So we're gonna add a little bit of oil to the pot. Right? We just want a little bit, we don't want too much. Because all we're doing is sauteing, meaning we're going to put the vegetable into the pot and allow it to sweat to release the flavor. Alright, so you can come. Let me give you a spoon right here.
Again, remember this is callaloo, onion, tomato, carrot. Yes?
Okay, and just to stop you before you're going further. Now, this is something that we don't do at home. Turn our handles to our body because this is an accident waiting to happen. You always turn your pot handle away from you. That way, you're not able to bounce it over. All right?
Okay.
Note that. All right, you can
turn
go
your pot handle away. All right?
And also you can switch out your color if you want to try other.
Yes, you can try pak choy, you can try spinach, kale, whatever it is that you might like, because not everybody is going to eat callaloo. And you just stir it in the pot.
Yes, I know I look very professional. This is the RADA team. And really what we're doing now is releasing the flavors, right?
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. Releasing
I
the
can
flavors.
smell the scallion and the
We're not going to overcook.
Okay.
We're not going to overcook it. We just want it to slightly sweat, and then once the flavor starts to release, then we'll remove it from the flame. All right, so this is good. All right, so just turn off the stove for me, please. Thank you very much. And we're going to transfer this to another plate so that it cools quickly. All right. While that cools, while that cools, we're going to go ahead and start with our potatoes. Now, I said that we were doing 2 meals today, right? And in the interest of time, we have to be dovetailing. So we're doing something and we're doing something else at the same time. So we're gonna put on our potatoes and allow that to cook in the meantime. All right?
What is the second meal?
The second meal will be mashed potatoes and vegetables and stuffed chicken breast. Good? Do you hold this for me, please? So we're gonna cover it and allow it to cool quickly. And then what we're going to do is to take our vegetables and add it to our egg. Right? So oh man, you can stay right there. No, you can stay right there.
So we want to add our vegetables. Eggs. Get it all out. Yeah, looking really good.
And then you're gonna stir it.
Stir.
Because you want to ensure that it is evenly distributed into the egg.
Well combined.
Eggs are a good source of what?
Protein.
Protein. Alright. So what we're going to do, we're going to transfer this to our muffin tins and then we're going to put it to bake. Now you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Alright, and then you will bake for at least 15 to 20 minutes, preferably 15 minutes, because you don't want it to stay in there and then it starts to overcook. Alright, because once it starts to overcook, then it starts to lose its color and taste. So you're gonna use the ladle now and spoon it into your muffin tins, but you're not gonna fill it to the top. You're gonna leave some space because while it is baking, it is going to rise, just as if you were baking a cake.
What do people saying online?
It sounds like a tongue releasing flavor.
Oh, well, you know.
We're just scooping into our muffin tin. And of course, for those persons who don't have a muffin tin, you can also use
a bowl. Right. You might
a
have
baking
a Pyrex
contain Pyrex dish.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then when you're through, you can always cut them into bite size. So let not the muffin tin stop you from trying this recipe. I'm going to try to.
Trying to get 12.
I'm trying to get 12, but it's short one.
That's fine.
Yes.
All right. So what we'll do now is put this in the oven and allow it to bake, and then we'll move on to our pancake.
Again, you know, part of the reality is that oftentimes we look at agriculture just on the primary production side. But agriculture is really about food. It's what you eat every day. It's how you get what you eat. And this part of creating food from what you planted is so important. So we're going to do cassava pancakes. Hopefully you all have tried it before. If you haven't, please, it's time to stop buying the other pancake mix and start buying our own pancake mix. And it's literally RADA pancake mix.
Right. So it's very simple. The only thing we need to add is water. So we're going to be using 1 cup of our pancake mix to 2/3 cups of water. Right. there you have the measuring cup. Could you pick it up for me? Yes, the purple one. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna ask you to measure 1 cup out of the mix.
Yeah, man. Professional, you know? So I really like pancakes, actually. Um, and I much rather cassava pancakes because it's supporting our local farmers.
All right, so you're gonna add your water. Now you can use a spoon to mix as well as you can use a whisk. Now when you're using your spoon, you have to ensure that you mix well because we don't want to get any lumps in our thing, right? You're stirring properly there. Any lumps?
No, not so
No?
far.
Alright, so what we'll be using today to make our pancakes is a griddle, right? If you don't have a griddle at home, you can use your stove.
Frying pan.
Frying pan.
Yeah, man.
Frying pan,
Yes. Old frying pan.
Alright, that looks good.
Now remember, it is cassava pancake. So it might be
Not gonna look.
different from the ones that you are used to because it's based on cassava. One thing for sure, it is much, much better for you.
Alright, so we're gonna allow the griddle to heat and then we're gonna put some butter on there and then you can just pour on your pancake.
Right?
Good?
Sounds good.
Add salt to the pancake.
You don't have to add salt. The only ingredient that you need to add is water. That's it. Just add your water, mix, fry, and then you're done. Alright, so we're gonna tip a little bit of oil onto our griddle so that our pancake doesn't stick.
So this is what we're going to put with the egg. The egg.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Alright. So we're trying to create some space here. So come over to this side. Alright, you can go ahead and pour on.
Okay, we're going to put it
No, I told you you're my helper for today. I'm the top chef. So you're my assistant. Right?
Yeah.
He's our assistant.
Yes.
Because we work more in the kitchen. The men usually shy from the kitchen.
So you can make them attractive. Don't.
Mm-hmm. So if you even have like a sandwich maker, what you can do is put it on a sandwich maker and close it down. Close it down.
Okay.
That way you'll be able to get different shapes.
And for those persons who happen to have cookie formers
Mm-hmm.
to make them attractive for the children, because we want our young ones to know and taste the flavor of our cassava pancake, and to be excited by it. And so we can use the cookie formers to create characters with your pancakes.
So the pancake mix when you get them in the store, they would cost you about $425 for a box. Pretty cheap, right? For something that's good.
Very, very.
Alright. So we'll allow this to penetrate. Once the bubbles start appearing on the top, then you'll know that it's time for you to turn it over. Good. So what we're going to be doing is working with our potatoes. So we're gonna peel now to put in our pot.
All right.
All right. So vegetable peeler.
Part of what we want you to do is to share your backyard garden journey with us. For those of you who have gotten backyard garden kits, let us know how it's going. Take your pictures, tag it. I don't know if you all have seen my own wonderful backyard garden. I did go through a lot of struggles initially with pests. I had to draw up a neem oil. It did help. And thankfully, I watched some of the RADA series. I would say to everybody, watch the RADA series. And I'll tell you a little bit more. So let's continue.
You're gonna peel.
No problem.
You're gonna peel
I'm
one
going
for
to
me as well.
peel too, but guess that I'm using the
The knife.
he's using the potato peeler. So I'll use what we Jamaicans are used to, peeling our Irish potatoes. I want to say hi to the farmers in my parish,
Which parish are
Christiana.
you from? Really? So Christiana is one of
Christiana.
our major Irish potato
Yes,
girls.
yes, yes. So saying hi to them this morning.
Yeah. And they do very well.
So Minister, you make me finish peeling, right?
Yeah, you know, just giving you a little, just a ladies first, so you know how it is.
There you go.
Well done.
All right. So we're gonna cube them pretty small so that they boil quickly. All right.
All right, nice. Chef.
Okay. So we're gonna dice, and you can wash your hands over here, Minister.
Okay.
We want to do them small enough because we want to move quickly.
So you can come and turn your pancake.
Oh. Oh, look at my pancake.
Good.
Mm.
Lovely.
Good.
Take a close up on pancake.
Oops. All right. And so you're gonna add those to the pot now. And remember, you know, we're looking about the children, and the kids want fun, exciting meals, and pancake is one of the things that they go for, right? We know that they don't want a fully cooked food, so if you give them something, they're bound to be on the winning side of the parent. All right, so just add them to the pot, and then you can put some salt.
Remember, salt is always optional. That's that, you know, because with these naturally grown food, fruits and vegetables, you don't have to add too much salt. When you taste your locally grown produce, you realize that they're so tasty that you don't need to add too much salt. And salt is always an
And
option.
everybody is health conscious
Right.
these days, so we have to be mindful of that. All right. So while that cooks, we're going to be preparing now our plate for our pancakes. Right?
So as I was saying, while we get that ready, we want to see pictures. Tag us on IG, on Twitter. Share pictures of your backyard garden. Let us know your progress, what is happening. We want to see it and encourage your friends. So we also want to see your meal. So what have you used your backyard garden items to prepare? So I had some pak choy that did extremely well. I used it and cooked it with saltfish. And if you haven't seen it, I'll share it today again so that you can see it. And what I tried, and I don't know, I tried a cut and grow thing that I saw online. So when I reaped my pak choy, I didn't take out everything.
Yeah.
I cut some of it for it to come again. And it is coming again. So you can just imagine how excited I am. So, from now on, call me Farmer Floyd.
Yes, good idea. Well, I had to share my pak choy with some bugs, but that was okay. It's a learning experience. Yes, so the next time I put out my pak choy, I'll put a container for the bugs and one for myself.
But you know they say if bugs not eating your vegetables, then it's not good, right? Okay, so Mr. Floyd, you're not looking on your pancakes,
Yes, yes, yes.
so you need to take them off
Let
now.
us see how they are doing.
All right. So this is the finished product for our egg cups. And could you help me here to take off our cling wrap?
Thank you, Cinnabon.
Yeah. All right. So this is what the finished product looks like for the egg muffins or the egg cups. And we're going to pair that now with our pancakes. All right. And make that one. All right. Put another one on there. Good. And that's the finished product. And what we're going to do is drizzle it with a little bit of our pancake syrup from Sweet Number Mint.
Which one is this now? Is it
This one is the
Ota
apple.
Iti apple?
Mm-hmm. Why this look like 5-star restaurant? Don't it? And that's it.
So something is missing.
What?
The fork.
Fork is it? Right here. Well, I'm not seeing the forks. So we're going to have to improvise, right? Usually, so this is what it looks like. This is our pancake. So that's so when you don't have what you need, you just use what you have. We said that at the beginning, right? So we're going to be using a cooking fork to eat, but be mindful that you should be eating with a dinner fork.
So I see Peter Thompson, the CEO of RADA, is there with his mouth running because he wish he was on this side, right? Now the best part of cooking for me is being able to enjoy what you have prepared. So I'm sorry that you all out in internet world, you're not here, but I am here to have it for you.
And you're not tasting.
Right. I know you're going to say I'm biased, but it tastes really good. It does. And
Yeah.
even if you
Thank
don't
you.
like eggs, it's really nice because the callaloo, tomatoes, onions give it a completely different flavor.
So I'm going to be trying the cassava pancake first. I am a sweet cassava lover, and so therefore I'm transforming my
Oh.
sweet cassava and seeing sweet cassava turn into pancakes is a good. I love the flavor. I don't like the other types of pancakes that we see that really don't come from here. I'm not calling the name, but I love the sweet cassava pancake. It holds the flavor of the sweet cassava for those persons who boil and eat
sweet cassava, you still get that flavor.
And let me be
And
honest,
mhm,
pancake is really good.
it is.
But you see, the syrup, the Otaheite apple syrup is exceptional. And this is the first time I'm having it, and it is really, really good.
I'm going to run off with the pancake though. And I'm thinking that I can use this pancake mix to make some sausage fritters. Yeah.
True. Good idea. Sorry, executive chef. I don't know when we're going to get back to the cooking. Right now, focus on a little bit more on the eating. So clear is a great breakfast meal. It's something your kids can participate in. It's very nutritious. Eggs are our best low cost protein. You don't eat enough, you need to eat some more. And when you pair it with something like cassava pancake, it's great.
I'm just gonna allow you to finish, and then it's time to get back to
So
work.
I think my job here is done.
No,
I'll
no.
be back another day. No,
Alright.
no. Mhm.
So now we're going to be moving on to our lunch meal, which is our mashed potatoes and vegetables with our stuffed chicken breast. All right. You ready for me now?
Ready, ready.
Okay, good.
Also share your recipes. I know a number of you have some wonderful Jamaican recipes out there using our local produce. We want you to especially focus on the things that are part of your backyard garden. What can you do with your lettuce, your cabbage? Share your exciting recipes. I don't know if a number of you have tried this egg before. What do you call it?
Egg cup or
Egg
egg
cup.
muffin.
We want to hear your recipes, please.
All right.
Over
So
to you.
now we're going to be starting with our chicken breast. Remember, our potato is still on the fire, so you have to pay attention to that. All right. So Anne, come over here for me. So of course, we washed our chicken before with our vinegar. And something that we're going to be doing today, we're going to be tenderizing our meat. We don't have a mullet. Um,
The mortar stick. The
Yeah.
little mortar.
the mortar stick
No, look
and
here. This one.
yeah, we're going to be using the pestle. So this is a mortar stick and pestle, right? So we're going to be improvising today. The fact that we don't have our mullet. Let's get rid of this from the table.
Turn on the stove a little.
Alright. So we're going to be using our pestle and we're going to be beating the chicken breast, right? Come. This is basically what we're going to be doing, and this is to allow the chicken to cook faster. Right?
Maybe thinking, but I don't have that piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Wash a good butter.
Mhm.
Wash
And
your
use
butter
it.
and use it.
A lot of times people look at the fact that they don't have the fancy tools to use in the home, but anything can be used. Alright? So, and you can come over here and beat the chicken for me. Well, I set
I'm
Mr.
tenderizing.
Yeah.
I'm tenderizing the chicken, but I'm not beating any chickens up in here.
Alright, so I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm gonna set you up, Minister, to do some vegetables for me.
Okay. Clearly, we love chicken. I think it's a part of all of our staples. We love chicken. But we also have to find creative ways because, especially for the kids, they get tired of the same old thing. So try something new. We're doing stuffed chicken breasts. Try something new. Work with us today.
But today we're not going to be using the color loaf to stuff our chicken. We're actually going to be using string beans and carrots.
Oh.
Yeah, string beans and carrots. What we're going to do is julienne the carrots, and then we're just going to remove the heads of the string beans. So you can take out some string beans, and then we're going to be using. No, you want some more. Alright, so what you're going to do now is to just remove the head of the string beans from it. Come on. That's it. You like the easy job. Well, it's not bad.
And what the minister is doing, you can have your children at home start in the kitchen by preparing something like string beans. That's what I do with my daughter from she was 4 or 5. You don't even have to use a knife. You can just actually hold the string beans. Let me just show you. Hold the string beans like this and just have them break it. Just break it like that.
How early do you have your daughter in the kitchen?
When she was 4, breaking string beans.
I started mine in the kitchen at 6.
4, because she wanted to help, so I would give her string beans to break. I would have her break like lettuce, little thing that is easy to that is breakable without using a sharp instrument.
All right, so what we're going to do with our carrots now, we're going to julienne the carrots. And then after julienne the carrots, we're going to saute. We're going to do a bit of garlic. And we're going to use our tool just to cut the garlic. Instead of grating. What's the name of this tool again? Where is that tool that fell, Mr. Green?
You mean the one that you used to?
This one.
Yes.
Yeah. Lord, my brain went. Garlic mash. Garlic mash. That's what we're going to call it for today, but that's not the name. All right.
Works.
It works. So we julienne the carrots, which is basically cutting them into fine strips, fine even strips, and you have to ensure that you get the all the carrots looking uniform. All right. Could you check on your potatoes for me, please, Mr. Green?
Let us see what is happening over here. I have a. Thank you. They're coming to come. Yeah.
They're coming to come?
Yes.
Or they come?
We're almost ready for us.
Almost there.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do is to remove it from the fire when it's finished, and then we're going to throw it in a colander to drain the water from it. All right. Okay. I need it to come now, though, you know.
Yeah, man.
It don't come yet.
Where's the colander?
Come here.
Some things you can't rush. There's a very important lesson in cooking. Some things have to take its little time to come.
Or, well, I think the colander is on its way out. So we're going to be using our dirt or soil, which is where we're going to throw our water. Can you manage that, Minister?
Yeah, man, I can.
Sure.
Sure.
No.
And
I can't believe you're agreeing to that.
Yes.
No, we're in the kitchen. We can't do something like that. I just said it to see what you would say.
Oh,
but you failed on that one. All right. So we're going to use a bowl and just throw the water up. All right. So put it over the bowl, and then now you take your cover off.
Mhm.
We're not going to turn off the stove. We're going to turn it down because we're going to use it again right this minute. So we're gonna use our pot holder. Where is it? Right here. All right, and you're gonna just pour your potatoes into your colander. Good job. Okay, now that you've done that, I want you to now you're going to leave it over the
Okay.
container and allow it to drain. Oh. All right. So you turn on the stove for me. You turn it up now. Turn it up.
What are we going to be doing on this
We're
now?
going to be sauteing our vegetables. But we
I
want
know you all know I'm a saute pro. I'm very good at releasing flavors.
right?
Remember, hot handle should be away from you.
Good job.
All right.
Good job. All right. So now we have our carrots and we have our string beans. While the pot heats, we're going to take our garlic.
There you go. You had some already peeled.
Right. So we're gonna take our garlic and we're gonna put it in our garlic press. And this is to add flavor to our carrots and string beans. Right, because we want all the natural flavors in our food because we're not using any form of powder seasoning. So everything is gonna go with the seasoning, the natural seasoning. All right, you could tip a little bit of oil in your pot.
But I sometimes this happens to be one of your friends.
Your
Yes,
best
so they
friend.
Ginger.
stir frying ginger, and I have to throw it in that Jamaica prefixes some of the best ginger in the world.
This is you, sir. Right here.
So again, string bean, carrot, and a little garlic.
Remember, you're gonna stir. You're just allowing it to sweat. Right? So while Minister is doing that, what we're going to do is blend our seasoning for our chicken. Right? So we're going to be adding scallion, onion, thyme, rosemary, soy sauce, and some hot pepper for our chicken. Turn the pressure now.
You smell the flavors. I know you can't out there or watch it us, but take it from me. The garlic adds a wonderful, wonderful flavor.
Well, we didn't carry the time out here, but we're gonna pick some from our plants up top. Minister, you wouldn't even help me.
Boy, I was just saying, you're quite talented.
That smells, I can smell the time. That smells so good. So once you have a little area at home where you have good sunlight, you realize that your time can be good.
Yeah, so I have a little time in my backyard, and I have mint, peppermint,
peppermint,
right? I try to do the things that I really like, you know.
and rosemary too.
Rosemary is
Can be grown
good.
in containers.
All right,
Just
and so you can add
add
the
that.
thyme,
Mhm.
and you're gonna add a little bit of the rosemary. Well, we're not going to put it in there
Yeah.
yet, right? We're gonna add some soy sauce to this. So we're gonna add at least a quarter cup of soy sauce. All right, so this is it. Come on, this is your job. Take over from me. We're gonna be blending up. There's a plug right here. Right. So you're gonna be blending your seasoning now. We didn't put any hot pepper in there, and
Why not? We should.
take a hot pepper from right there, from our garden.
You don't want to use all of this, or you want to go really hot with the Scotch bonnet, or you just want it for flavor.
No, we just want it for flavor. Remember, we're catering for the kids as well. So we have to ensure that we don't put too much pepper in there. The pepper is just to flavor the pot. Good?
So I'm going to just use a little, avoiding the seeds. Adults, you can add the amount that you want, but we have to take into consideration.
More a little bit.
Down properly. There you go. And then we're going to
Sure.
it down a little.
Mm. And you can also add a little bit of water.
I think by now you know there's nothing like homemade seasoning, right? No matter how you try everything else, you do it for yourself at home, it makes for the best because it's fresh. Like,
And when you're working in the kitchen, always try and clean as you go. All right? Proper sanitation is always important.
and while they do all of that, what I love to do here is do it overnight, right? So you get your you season it up, and you put it in the fridge, and you make it marinate. So when you get that,
So what we're gonna do now is to season our chicken, and you're gonna season for me. Remember, we tenderize our chicken with our pesto.
and you can use a bottle at home.
Mm-hmm. So just
Remember
pour
that?
it on.
All those seasoning in there.
Right.
And as the minister said, that he marinates his chicken overnight. So we're getting all those seasoning, your scallion, your thyme, your Scotch bonnet pepper, your garlic.
And this is another part of the journey that you can have your kids help with when you're doing the seasoning. I find that they really enjoy this part, because it's messy. But at the end of the day, they really feel like the food tastes how they made it. So
Them a good dunk down in this marinade.
Right. So what we're gonna do, usually we would let this sit for at least 25 to 45 minutes, or usually as the minister say, you can do it overnight in the interest of time. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stuff our chicken breast. Right, we have sauteed it, and now we're gonna stuff it, and then we're gonna bake it at 350 degrees for at least 30 to 45 minutes. All right, because remember it's chicken breast, and we have tenderized it so that it takes a little less time to cook. All right. All right, so this is the same cutting board that we had the chicken on, so we'll use this. All right, and you're gonna do one, and the minister is also going to do one for me. Right, so I'm gonna show you what to do, and then you'll go ahead and do it for yourself. Minister, could you pass me the toothpick under the bottom there, please? It's right up in the corner, somewhere up there. Under the edge. All right, so what we're going to do now is take some of our string bean and carrot, and we're gonna place it in the middle of the chicken, or closer to the edge, I should say. Could you take out the toothpick from me, please? All right, and then we're going to roll it. 4. All right. 2 is good. And then we're gonna use the toothpick to stick in it to hold it. And that's all you're going to do. All right, see? So, and you can go ahead and do yours, and then the minister can go ahead and do his. So I'm going to use my carrots. I love carrots and string beans. More. And I'm going to roll. And then I'm going to secure with my toothpicks. I'm going to use 2 to secure. Go. Your turn, minister. How many toothpicks you want?
So
Like about
2.
6?
Well, I might need
2
more than
will
that. So I know you're looking on, and it doesn't look complicated. It is very complicated, right? But it's fun. So again, it's a nice thing to try with your children. Again, I think they would love being able to put in stuffing in the middle. We have string bean, we have carrots. I'm going to use 3 string bean, 2 carrot, and then simply you roll. And then you use your toothpicks, nice and easy, to secure. I know a number of you doubted if I would get it, but you don't appreciate that I'm a professional. So next thing, you add it to your tray, and you're ready to bake.
So what we're gonna do is add some rosemary to our chicken to give it flavor. So I would have put some on the inside of the chicken to give it flavor before if we were marinating it overnight, but that's not happening. So what we're going to do is to place it on the top of the chicken, right? So when it is baking, then it will extract the flavors. So what we're going to do is put it on our baking tray, our greased baking tray, and then we would put it to bake for at least 20 to 45 minutes, as I said before. And you can also go ahead and make a sauce to baste the chicken while it is in the oven. You can use the same the same seasoning that we blended, right? By adding a little bit of sugar to it. You can add some meat seasoning as well to flavor it up so that it has a nice taste and adds a bit of flavor to the meat, but it will still be getting all of those new all of the flavors from the different seasonings that we use. All right, and this would be it, and we would place it in our in our oven to bake. Right. I would also say that you can make a sauce using, if you don't want to go into the ketchup and everything, you can use your balsamic vinegar, and you can add some sugar with that, and you can burn it on the fire to give the flavors, have all of the flavors come out, and then you can just drizzle it over your chicken when it's finished. All right. Okay, so we're gonna have to wash our hands now because we were dealing with chicken. Remember, um, sanitation, sanitation and safety is important. So give us a minute, while the minister goes ahead and washes his hands, and then you can go ahead and do so. And then we're gonna show you the finished product now with the chicken, because of course we don't have the time, right? And then when the minister comes back, he's going to go ahead and start our mashed potatoes. Yeah. Okay, minister.
So you realize we're getting to the nice part, and all of you know what is the nicest part of this journey. And the nicest part is when it's finished and you get to eat. And there are few things more rewarding than eating a well-cooked meal that you prepared yourself, especially that came from your own garden. So again, I know a number of you have been asking us, are we going to do another backyard gardening program? We're going to look at it, but nothing stops you from going out now, checking your local farm store, and tell them you want to do a backyard garden. Most you have kits that are pre-prepared, but also they can help you put some things together. And again, you can call the RADA team and we can help guide you. Remember, all of these videos will be on YouTube. So if you're looking for what do you do during, before, and after, check YouTube. So we're going to get to our mashed potatoes.
Yes. So your potatoes are here. So what we're gonna do is add some butter to it. Potato masher.
Remember, if you do a potato masher, and what can you use?
Pork. Your pork.
Yes, your pork.
And you want to assist me over here?
Yes, I mean,
All right. So you can put some butter in the potato, and then you can go ahead and mash.
so if you are at home and you're thinking about getting in agriculture and you're wondering, what's a good crop to plant? Irish potato is a good crop to plant, right? We still are trying to be able to satisfy 100% of our needs. Where we are now, we're about 80%, 85%. We're not doing too badly, but we want to get to that 100%. So it's a technical crop, but we do have an Irish potato program. Again, you can contact RADA and let us work you through that. We do produce some of the best Irish potatoes in the world, and if you get the local Irish, you know it's different from the foreign Irish. The quality is just very, very different.
And for some persons, they probably want to add a little bit of milk to their mashed potatoes. Different persons like to add different things. Some people love to spruce up their mashed potatoes by adding some
Sweet
sweet
pepper.
pepper. Gives that little crunch. And funny enough, even your Scotch bonnet pepper depends. Mashed potato, it's so versatile.
I think by now you realize Annie's a professional.
I just love to use what I grow at home in my garden. And I'm always trying new things.
And with that being said, we're going to look at this, which is our callaloo. This is our carrot. Oh, we're over here. Callaloo, carrot, onion, tomatoes, and garlic. Right? So we're using the same ingredients as before. All we did was saute and then we put it in the food processor to get it looking like this. Right? If you don't have a food processor, you can go ahead and use your blender. All right? Or you can chop it up finely. Either way works. Right? And we're just trying to create or find the different ways that we can get the kids to eat the vegetables. So we're gonna add some of this veggie to our mashed potato, and I'm gonna ask you to finish stirring that for me. And then now we're on to our final part for our meal. Right? This is the finished product of the chicken. You seeing? Pretty? Right, so once you cut it open, you see the different colors on the inside, and all I did,
and the rosemary on the top.
The rosemary on the top, and all I did was to use the soy sauce and add a little bit of lime juice and sugar to it, and I heated that, and then we drizzled it on the plate and on the top of the chicken. All right.
Nice and gourmet.
So now we're going to place our potato. So if it is that you have a bowl, you want it to come out looking nice, you can put it in a little bowl, you can put it in a cookie cutter or something, just to have it looking a little bit more attractive on your plate. So you can either put it in the plate like that, all right, and fixing it up, you know.
Presentation is the key.
All right.
Yes, you want it to look attractive. So you want to fix it up nicely.
Well, I'm going to
go for the plate.
Go for the plate, right? So we're gonna put a little speck, and it look nice same way as if I use something. So Anne can put hers in the plate, right, and showcase it like this, or we can have it like this. Good. So that's our meal.
Yeah. Well, this was really hard work. And you know, after a long, hard, arduous task, it's really good to get some substance. So,
waiting for the utensil.
You know, you really get fancy, you know, when you get nice more time. So remember, this is lunch, and I think it's about lunchtime. And remember, we are having stuffed chicken breast with string beans. See that nice and pretty, right? And our carrots, along with mashed potato with some callaloo and things of that nature. Now, one of the critical things is, remember, there's a toothpick inside, right? So please, don't hurt yourself when it comes to the eating time.
No,
all right, you take out the toothpick.
From the oven, you can remove the toothpick because it will stay in place.
Oh.
Right? And you get
Guys, you're not going to believe it, but honestly, no, this is really, really good. Really, really good. This is good.
Thank you.
Really good.
What is the crunch of the vegetables?
Yeah.
Carrots.
This is good. And the rosemary. Oh my gosh.
Nice flavor, right?
Boy, Peter.
I'm always thinking outside the box because I'm a creative thinker when it comes to cooking. And I'm thinking that I would just pile my mashed potato in one of your muffin pans, pop it in the oven for a little bit, and drizzle a little bit of cheese on top of it.
Agreed.
I love that.
So I think my job here is done. I don't think the show is done, but my job here is done, and this was really, really good. So thank you guys. I mean, I think I'm a pro now, and I can go home and impress my son with some stuffed chicken breast.
Good. Good.
The rosemary adds good flavor. Yeah, it is. You can taste the rosemary. It's really good.
You see, that's why you use your natural things that you grow in your backyard. You know, these are the items that you would have in your backyard, right, Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
But guess what?
You feel away.
You
feel away.
Yes, I look at all of the food and why it seems as if well that's it though. You know, that's how it is. But we cannot emphasize the importance of growing what you actually eat. You know, you see the macabre, you know, when
Yeah, man, come, I know. Sorry, let me just move this.
but that's like I'm gonna say, Minister, it was good to have you here, you know, sharing with the nation.
Yeah.
We're not talking about just the public here, but the nation at large and otherwise, you know, and putting some emphasis on the importance of grow what we eat and eat what we grow and say yes to fresh backyard garden style. Miss Jeffrey, why yeah, ever grow, but I thought you only deal with food and plants.
Yes.
She said, why you deal with the food just the same as
Yes.
you know, and that is really good to know that you can multitask is what I see.
I am definitely a
Well,
multitasker.
I can see, but you see, the thing is that in everything that you know we have to ensure that people understand and know what is there to be offered and what is there to gain. You know, and the thing is that we can't really overemphasize that growing what you eat is very, very important. And not only that, but you look at the whole food bill. You plant in your little backyard, help with the reduction of the crops that you actually import into your country. You know, so if you plant one container, a colony, you're helping to reduce.
Absolutely.
If you grow one chicken, at least you're helping to reduce. So the thing is that we as a nation need to play our part in ensuring that we create a food security level. But it's Parkinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, a woman of substance.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the minister don't want to leave beside you.
No.
I'm kind of watching you know still. You
Let
know,
me tell you, this is a chicken, yeah? Way to a man's heart, boy.
Yeah, but we have now come to the close of a nice session and a series, right? And this is something that I think the minister spoke to it already. Said by the chances are they will be looking at other ways and means. But we know the minister don't know him as a man only talk, know him as a man who actually do some of the things they were going to say. So we are looking forward for your support in continuing the venture. Right? I want to say special thank you. Very respectful. Come this way, respectful. I want to say a very, very big and special thank you to Little Bochetalo.
Yeah.
You see this lady, respectful. When we went to her and I spoke to her about getting this thing up and running, she did not hesitate. She said, all right, we can see how best we can capitalize on it. And then because of the promotion that the ministry was putting out, we actually see the need that persons can learn how to actually grow the seeds, prepare the land, control the pest and disease, identify some pest and disease, put in many irrigation system because we want to generalize the practices in agriculture. All right. So I want to say special thank you to Evergrow. Can say stop thank you. Special thank you to Sky Falls who have set up the space. Digicel Foundation. Absolutely. Can't really hesitate with Digicel. You call for Digicel and they didn't hesitate. They responded immediately. AgriView. I must take off my hat to AgriView. And the reason for it is that AgriView will see the need to empower and educate the public. So they didn't hesitate to partner with us. And we really want corporate Jamaica, along with others, to partner with not only the ministry, but with persons who have the interest in agriculture. I want to ensure that the country grows. We want that level of partnership, and it must be a collective effort, not an individual effort, a collective effort. And nation building starts by collectiveness. All right, so I just want to say a special thank you, St. Andrew Parish Office. Because they also had more than in relation to RADA itself. RADA is the force that governs in relation to the work that is done, spearheaded by a very good CEO, Mr. Peter Thompson, who give us the support just the same to ensure that we accomplish what we wanted to accomplish. And I hope that Jamaica land we love will accept the sessions that were done. As I say, you can go back on YouTube, you can go on Instagram to 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 get back this information, and we cannot overemphasize say yes to friend backyard garden style. I want to say special thank you to our clients. Without the clients, we would not be here. And our clients is not only the farmers but the householders, the man who plant his little containers.
Yeah.
So we appreciate and we respect all our clients, and we are looking forward to working even closer with our clients to ensure that we grow from strength to strength. So I want to say special thank you to one and all, and may God bless you, God richest blessing, and let us continue to do what is required for nation building.
Excellent.
Say yes to Fresh Backyard Garden Style videos seek to provide a step-by-step practical and interactive guide to establishing backyard gardens. This 6-week series has been led by